Hello, Tazar2 here. Welcome to episode 2 of the Lads podcast. I said that this would be semi-consistent. Unfortunately, it's not. I am Taylor House, and this is my co-host, Jerry Miller.
Hello. I'm here. Woo.
We are in the virtual world now because getting in
Because
the
Corona.
getting in the physical world was a bit too hard right now. But yeah, we're here. We're gonna do this. I wanted to talk about a bunch of things. Something interesting happening in the gaming community. Gaming community is having a little bit of a Me Too movement type thing going on. A lot of females in the community are going out and they're saying things like they're talking about people that have uh, done things that aren't all very good,
Not very cash money gamer moves.
right? They're getting banned from their various platforms. We're not going to be dropping names or anything. That's not right.
Of course, yeah.
Most of these are very public. It started. Um, it was like either early June or uh, late May.
Right. Yes.
That's how late we are. Um,
Yes.
yeah, and another thing that happened in gaming recently. Mixer. Mixer is dead now.
Oh yes.
Uh,
F in the chat, boys.
that was
F in the chat.
that was interesting because nobody got any warnings except for the really big streamers on Mixer.
Yeah.
I don't think that's fair.
Right. They should have said something about it.
Yeah, they should have said, "Hey, Mixer's going down." They gave them like 30 days when the story broke.
Yeah. That's
Like
that's unfortunate.
that's not enough time to find a job.
Right.
Which is really interesting. That was both interesting and upsetting. Some of the big streamers, the ones paid Ninja $30 million to come on to Mixer, and then they're shutting it down less than a year later. He's just kind
Very
of
unfortunate. Yeah.
on YouTube now. He doesn't have any contracts that I'm aware of. But the interesting thing is he denied Facebook Gaming's deal because Facebook Gaming wanted to make a deal with him for 60 million, which is just a ton of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's curious. It was curious that he doesn't have a contract, yet he went to YouTube. Speaking of streamers, Dr. Disrespect.
Oh boy,
Ha-
howdy.
have you seen
Dude,
that?
we love to hear it. I think I've heard of something going on with Dr. Disrespect recently.
He got
But
banned from Twitch,
ah,
and
see,
there
I
was
expect that. I know very little about him. I haven't followed him much, but I did expect that.
there was no reason. He just got banned.
I don't
Nobody
know.
nobody knows. He returned later to
He's just
YouTube.
banned?
Yeah, just banned.
That's interesting. They didn't say anything about why.
Yeah, they
It
didn't.
was just he's gone now.
He came back. I want to say, wasn't it like last week? He started streaming on YouTube, and he mentioned that he doesn't exactly know what's going on, and he wasn't going to tell anyone that they should just let the lawyers handle it. So it's something pretty big. Either something
Oh, well,
he's
that's
hiding
interesting.
that's like, you know, breaking
Mhm.
TOS by, hurting someone, or
Right. Mhm.
or maybe it is just like a breach of contract. Because he did have a deal with Twitch, but
Mhm.
he wasn't like seen on any other platform. So it could be some sort of breach of contract, maybe. That's my best
Perhaps, yeah.
theory. Just
Yeah, it's a good
because,
theory.
just because, but it was happening right around this whole gaming community Me Too thing. It's
Hmm.
odd.
You implying there might be something to that? Some relation there? Or
Perhaps, and maybe it was just kept under wraps. I guess why he's saying that's why just let the lawyers handle it. But
hmm,
he's back streaming,
okay.
so perhaps not.
Hmm. I guess the future will tell.
Recent game releases, we got Last of Us 2.
Last of Us 2, very good game.
Have you seen it? I don't have a
I have
PlayStation.
seen it, yes.
I don't have a PlayStation, so I
I've
didn't play it, but I watched a playthrough.
Yes, it looked like a very good game. Um, I I do believe there were mixed reviews on it, I think.
Yes,
I personally thought it was good.
a lot of it had to do with a story thing that happened.
Mhm.
I don't really want to say anything in case somebody hadn't played it.
Yeah, spoilers.
No spoilers. No spoilers here, but it was something to do with the story element. Uh, one of the voice actors got uh straight up death threat because of something their character did, which I think is very unfair. Director getting threats because uh there's LGBTQ
Mhm.
people in the game. So he was getting death threats for that too.
Yeah, that's not what you like to hear. No one should issue death threats to someone for a character or something because it's not real in the end. It's a
Right.
character. Like,
And some of the choices made that I disagree with, the game felt a little long. Like it's longer than it should have been. It
yeah, it was a pretty long game.
like I well, it was pretty short in terms of like full playthrough length, but it was too long like
Mhm.
I'm talking about like it was too long. There was like this almost like an epilogue section. I felt like it I felt like it kind of should have been like DLC, you know,
Yeah,
just because it just felt really out of place. I believe you know what section I'm talking
yeah.
about.
I do believe. Yes, I know which bit you're talking about.
So so for we are high school students right now. We're going into our senior year. Uh in the middle of this coronavirus thing, and some schools have already started, like in other states.
Yeah,
And something that I've seen is numbers just going insane whenever school started because some are going to physical school. And as soon as they did that, numbers went insane. And with Maryland going on right now, uh, nobody nobody's allowed to go to physical school at a full capacity, as far as I'm aware.
yeah.
The new plan was interesting though. They have like a full blocked out schedule, except it's all online through Schoolology. I heard Schoolology is bad. Do you have any experience with Schoolology?
I don't have any experience with it. No.
I just heard from a friend of mine that Schoolology was a bad application.
Well, that's unfortunate to hear.
But have you seen the new schedule?
I have taken a look at it. Yes, and it's interesting.
So it's like
I like it. I mean,
it's like our normal schedule.
yeah, it's not
80 any
too
80-minute
different.
class 80-minute class blocks. Uh, there's two 15-minute breaks. One towards the
I
beginning into
really did like that. I saw that and I was really happy that they added that,
Yeah,
the brain breaks.
one toward the beginning of the day and one toward the end. Uh,
Yeah, I thought
with
that
with
was
this
considerate of them.
yeah with this new environment, I think we're gonna need that.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday is just an entirely catch up day.
Yeah, I also really like that. They're giving us time to like catch up because they realize that it's more stressful this way. You got more stuff kind of going on, and it's nice that they're like adding more. How do I say? Yeah, they're just giving you more opportunities to catch up and all, trying to make sure that everyone succeeds this year.
Yeah, but they're still having compatibility, or not
Right.
compatibility, responsibility.
Yes.
Yeah, they still have. You still have to be responsible. You still have to do your
Yeah.
classwork. You still got to participate in school. I'm just hoping this ends before the year's out because I want to graduate as like as a student in a physical school. Uh, I wouldn't think I miss it as much as I do.
Right. I didn't think being away from school this much would have been so not likable for me, but I actually do miss being at school. Like you said, it's more of a learning environment type area.
Yeah, it's a
It's the
better
feel of
environment for work.
yeah.
I remembered I was because my upload schedule recently I've kind of been stepping it up. I upload almost every day or almost every other day, and I haven't uploaded in like 3 days. So I said, all right, tomorrow I'm gonna stream and edit. I will stay up late and edit a video. I did not edit a video. uh, yeah, just this environment isn't as productive.
Right.
I feel like if I was in an environment like a school, I would be a lot. I would work a lot easier. Of course, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be
Because like
editing. I'd be doing
right.
calculus or whatever.
Yeah, like a physical school being there, it helps you focus more. There's less distraction. And yeah, it's made to learn there. It's a place to learn. So I think that really helps.
Not only that, it's just seeing people. You kind of
Yeah,
you kind of miss
you
looking
miss that.
around. You kind of
Hmm.
miss looking around and seeing like people, like
Yeah.
people that aren't exactly your friends, but you enjoy speaking with them,
Hmm.
or just people that you don't like. You're really close friends. You're always going to talk to. You know, me and you, we're always going to talk.
Yeah.
But there's like other people that I would,
You don't really talk to outside of school.
yeah, that I miss talking to.
Right.
Uh, there, there's this guy. He might be listening. Actually, he makes music. I believe you know him.
I do know him. Yes.
And I just like talking shop with him because we're both in creative, like a creative field, you know.
Hmm.
So I always like talking with him and doing stuff with him if he needs like any help with that. Uh, the person that I made human seeds with, he he's another person that I just like having conversations about YouTube in general because I work with him in that editing field, and even if we don't work together, we always talk about techniques that we find useful. So yeah, that's what I miss about school.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's nice to have people to actually work with.
Do we want to talk about iPhone dongles?
I mean, we could talk about iPhone dongles. That would be
I
a
I I
nice
I,
topic.
I do enjoy talking about iPhone dongles.
iPhone dongles. It's just fun to say the word
Yeah,
dongle.
dongle is just such a great word.
Sounds nice. It rolls off the tongue.
It just rolls off
Dongle.
the tongue well.
So nice.
I remember we were talking about this the other day. Uh, you're talking about you running out of storage, and I go,
Yeah, my phone storage is very awful. Very awful.
so I go and I go, well, you you have an guess you need a bigger SD card then, and he goes, what SD card?
Because iPhone isn't compatible with SD cards, which
Yeah,
is very
iPhones don't have an
unfortunate. I
iPhone
don't like
have
that.
a SD card slot, and I'm sitting here
Yeah,
with my cell phone. I have 16 gigabyte SD card in my phone, so all of my I have like 4 gigabytes of music and like two or 3 gigabytes of photos just loaded onto that SD card, and it doesn't take up any of my internal storage. And then I was like, you need a dongle for everything. I
a
look on
dongle.
I look on Apple, and there is a Lightning to SD card converter for $40.
Which is quite expensive.
Quite expensive for a dongle, considering you can buy one at
Yeah,
Big Lots for like $2.
not that. Yeah,
So yeah, I just don't like dongles. I
yeah.
use them a lot
The
in
word is fun, but
the word's fun, but they're not fun.
yeah,
I do use them though, and they're quite useful. I use them all the time in robotics when I build robots.
yeah.
I use them to do that to control. I basically plug in an Xbox controller to a cell phone, and then the cell phone runs a server that takes the commands of the controller and drives the robot with them. So like they can be useful, but at the same time,
Right.
I feel like Apple's too
Too focused on them,
they're
uses them too much,
yeah
relies
they're
on
just
them too much, maybe.
probably not rely. I feel like they use
Yeah.
it to make their phones a bit cheaper, and then they
Right. Yeah.
pack more stuff
Yeah.
into it to make it more expensive,
Mm.
while staying slim and small.
Right. Mm.
So less slots means that they have more space for other stuff, and they can make their phones smaller. It's interesting to see the evolution of phones too. They used to
Oh yeah.
be they used to be on the wall, and they were massive and on the wall, and now you can get a tiny little phone the size of like a note card, you know,
Yeah.
and that just fits in your pocket. And then now, uh, cell phones are actually starting to get bigger, and wow, and then you have other designs that phones can be massive or they can fold down to like this little size.
Uh,
Uh,
Foldable phones.
yeah, the foldable screen, which someone made, and then Apple and Samsung go, "Oh, we can buy this," and then they buy it. They buy the tech, and this guy gets like he becomes like a rich guy, but he doesn't make any money off of his inventions. Samsung and Apple do,
Mm.
which is interesting. I don't know
Yeah.
how I would feel about that. If you make something and you sell the idea to someone else and they make money with it,
Hmm.
like you,
Well, I mean, you sold the idea to it. Like you sold it, the concept. So is it yours still?
you sold the idea pretty much.
So
So
it's
they will build it.
technically not yours.
I mean, it was your idea.
Yeah, but you
It,
sold the idea for someone else to own.
right.
So they own the idea.
Yeah, but I don't know how I would feel about that. I don't think I could do that. If I came up with like this revolutionary new product,
You wouldn't sell it.
I don't think I would sell it. Even though I have like no money to my name, I would find some way to manufacture it and sell it myself because I feel like that would be more not useful but because I would probably still make the same amount of money if I sold it versus if someone else sold it.
But you would still own the product. It would still be
It would
yours.
still be
Is that
mine.
what you're going at?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I just feel like I couldn't let that go. And
Right.
maybe it would ruin me, but I would still have my idea. That would get copied, but it would be my
Yeah.
idea.
Oh, yeah.
Do I have a question? Have you prepped a
Oh,
question?
if I had a question, that would be great.
We can start
Do
with
you
mine.
have a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go with yours.
So I have a question.
What is your question? Ask
When
away.
when was a time where you felt like a celebrity, like someone famous?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. Um, One time I felt famous. Okay. There were quite a few times. The one that came to mind just now was this one time in kindergarten when I was called up on stage because we had this reward system type thing where it was like in our school they're called roar bucks or whatever. Um, but in elementary school they were called they were called bucks. They were just called bucks. And I had gotten my first one. They called me up on stage to announce it to everyone, and I feel like I might have been embarrassed about it, but honestly, I felt really great being up there on stage, being like, "This is what I did. I've been rewarded for my goodness."
You were rewarded for your positive actions.
Yeah, and everyone saw that. Everyone was there, and it felt nice. It was good to be recognized and to have everyone
It,
seeing
it
me.
does it does feel good to be recognized.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm the type of guy who tends to like slip into the shadows, but at the same time, like it feels good to be recognized, but I also think that it feels good for me to just like not be here. If I could
Yeah,
if I
I
could
know what you mean.
if I
Yeah.
could just be alone and kind of just me and my mind, and that kind of leads into the answer to my question, answering my own question, as we do on this segment of the podcast.
We do that?
Yeah, you always
Okay.
answer your own question, remember? You answer
Did
it,
not
and then I
did,
answer it.
it's been so long since we've done this, I don't remember.
Well, is uh one of the times I felt like that uh something I know really that something I know that really that people actually appreciated, because like there's something you're really good at.
Right.
You always have something you're really good at, and then you use it and people see it, and then people are either impressed by it or bored by it. So so for me, I what I did was I code. I do programming, and I built something I built a lot of things that were interesting, and people and the rest of people in my class would become intrigued by them, and I was always the best in that class. So so there was that time where I kind of felt like I was the best in that room, so everyone looked to me for advice. So one of the things I built a chat room entirely in Python using nothing but it used a HTML website. Uh, it used an HTML website so anyone could get to it, but basically what it was a giant. I used this module called JSON Store, and what it did was it's like a giant text document, like a really big one,
Yeah.
and I used code to interpret that and kind of it. It was basically whatever you said went on the document, and the document and you would press enter and refresh the document, and then somebody else would say something. And then you refresh the document, and somebody else would say something, or you would say something. And when it reached 50 people on a screen, because whenever you get to that many comments on a screen, it kind of fills up the page. So when it does that, it clears it. It clears it all and starts over. So that one's really interesting.
It's a real cool program.
Another program I did was, do you remember Scratch?
I do remember Scratch. I had a lot of fun with Scratch.
That block coding kind of thing?
Yes.
Well, I
Yes.
built a casino in there.
A whole casino.
And it got deleted because it was a casino. But yeah, it had 4 games. It had roulette, it had blackjack, it had slot machine, and it had uh dice. It was crap. That game.
Yeah.
So those were the 4 games, and you could play them, and it was a really fun game, and a lot of people and a lot of people saw it. But the most interesting part was the comments, because Scratch is a site targeted towards younger people. So there's a lot of younger people playing it. And what they were saying was they were talking about how you could break it by using negative money. Like you could bet any amount.
Yeah.
And that's not technically broken because that's called debt. At least I didn't call it broken because that's
It's
debt.
not. It's not a bug. It's a feature.
Yeah, it's not a bug, it's a feature. It's called debt. It's called crippling debt. There'll be a guy whenever you start it up next time that's just like giving your money full. He'll yeah he says full, and he has a lot of gold on him, and yeah, and in case you didn't get that, Mr. T. Yeah. Yeah, that was my Mr. T. I probably
It
should
was
have
very good.
I
I
probably should
applaud.
I probably should have done the voice. Give me your money, fool. All right. Do you have a question?
Um, that's a good question. Um, this is the bit we cut while I think of a question.
Yeah,
Okay, so my question is, we've been in quarantine for a while now, as you could say.
quite a
Um,
few months.
and over those few months, we've had time to ourselves to reflect and make improvements or such. So my question to you, and I guess to the audience as well, would be: would you say that you would be coming out of quarantine, like whenever that is, or like right now? Would you say you're in a better place now than you were going into quarantine, or just at the start of it? Like,
Okay, so if, did I become a better person in quarantine?
yeah, yeah.
I would say that I've learned to understand some things, like the appeal of physical school. That's something that I've learned. You know, a lot of times we talk about, oh, school's
Oh,
terrible.
school.
Yeah, we
Uh,
don't want to go to school. It's terrible. But now I'm sitting here like I miss school. I miss going to school.
yeah. And like even the small things like getting ready for school, I've missed getting up early,
Right.
the whole daily routine you got to it.
Yeah, this quarantine completely broke my routine.
Right.
Uh, cause normally I have like a school routine and I have a summer routine, and then quarantine just completely broke that because school time blended it into summertime
Hmm.
like way too fast. I didn't notice it. I was like, wait, school's over now. And it didn't start until this month to start getting my summer routine, which is getting up early, making videos almost daily, and then exercising. Riding my bike, running,
Nice.
that
Mhm.
sort of thing. So I'm starting to get into that routine now, and school's almost up again. So it completely messed up my routine, but I'm starting to get back into it. And then uh, a good thing that I thought coming out of this was it gave me a lot of time to learn about stuff. So I learned more about editing, and so I feel like I will come out of quarantine a better YouTuber. But I don't know if I'll come out of quarantine a better person. If I come out of quarantine, I'll just miss all the things that I used to have. I would have to come back, and maybe I'll realize that I'm a better person than I was. Maybe I will. I was thinking about that.
Okay.
Maybe a better person. This is a really long-winded reply, and I'm kind of running circles around
No,
what
you're
I'm trying to
fine.
say. But I feel like I feel like that I'm much more mature now. Maybe that's just because I'm older, you know, just through time. Maybe this would have happened if there wasn't a quarantine. But I feel like I feel much more mature. Not having a clean room bothers me,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Uh, you know,
Yeah.
understanding who real like what a real friend is like, which I knew, but I didn't differentiate between people that are my friends that I keep near and associates that I talk to and they're fun to talk to, but sometimes like I don't want to keep them. I kind of keep them at arm's length because I know that I don't want them to be my friend. And then something that I feel like I should work on probably is making more friends. Because there's people that I was like, oh, it would be cool to hang out with them more often, but I also take a step back and look at myself and I go, well, how do I do that?
Yeah.
Because it's something that I haven't done for a while. It it's been like, well, it's been almost since I met you. How long ago I've done that?
That's
Like
been
when I
quite a
met you
time.
was
Yeah.
probably the last time I've tried to get people closer to me. So anyway, what's your response to this?
First of all, let me say you answered that very well. That was good. Some good points you made.
Long-winded that one.
Yeah, but it was nice. It was good. Um, but I would say in the beginning of quarantine, I was uh, I was different. I have changed. I'm not gonna say for the better or for the worse, but I've calmed down a bit. I'll say that. In the beginning of quarantine, I was kind of all over the place. Didn't know what was going on. I still don't, but like, if you get what I mean, like, still
Yeah.
trying to figure myself out, kind of thing. And now here we are, like almost 5 months later, and I'm more mellow, I guess.
You're
I've
gotten more used to the
become more
isolation.
peaceful. Yeah, yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah. um, no, but yeah, I agree with you in the aspect of maturing a bit. I know I don't show it that well, but I like to think I am a bit more mature than I was before all of this. I've taken time to reflect on myself, on how I am as a person, um, and I like to think I've made improvements to some degree. Um, Yeah, there's not much. There's not a whole lot to add to it for me. Quarantine has affected us all to some degree, at least. Um, and I feel like, yeah, I am different, but I won't say it's for the better or for the worse. I'm older now.
Right.
And with that comes certain changes that are, just natural. And yeah, that's all I really have to say.
Yeah,
I'm
you're just
I'm I'm me.
you're just a
I'm me
bit more
now.
mature than when
Yeah.
you first started quarantine.
Right. Right. Right.
My only hope is that we actually get graduate we actually graduate
That would be
proper.
nice. That would be nice. I feel for the seniors last year who didn't get to.
Yeah,
They,
I feel bad for
yeah,
them.
yeah, because like they had some semblance of a graduation, but I know it wasn't what they were hoping for.
Yeah.
You wait 12 years and then that's what you get. It's really a shame,
Yeah, it's just kind
but
of a kick in the teeth, you know?
yeah, yeah,
You know, their prom gets canceled, their senior prom.
yep, very unfortunate.
You know, that was that was their last year and they just kind of got
Yeah,
screwed up.
yeah, it was just all of a sudden you're done. You're out of school now.
And
Go.
it's really good for the people that hate school.
Yeah.
Cause they're me that's like, "Oh, I actually miss school," but then there's people that are like, "I love this. I love
Yeah.
not being at school.
Mhm.
It just works so much better for me."
Right.
There's people like that. Another thing I wanted to talk about was our uh, our charity D&D event coming up.
Oh,
Uh, so for people that don't know, they probably don't know because I didn't announce it.
we haven't. This
I
will be the announcement.
yeah, this will be the announcement coming up later. I don't know which date. I'll probably announce a solid date on Twitter and my other socials once I got it together. But I will be streaming on Twitch Dungeons and Dragons. We're going to be doing a charity event for Extra Life, which is what I do always. I stream and record for Extra Life anyway, but this will be like especially awesome because we're doing a D&D one shot, which is a game that's really fun, and
Very fun.
I really miss playing. It will be online, unfortunately, which I don't like.
Yeah,
I
online D&D has been for us.
yeah, I don't really like doing that, but I feel like it'll be okay for a one shot.
Yeah.
So people will be there, some new faces, some old ones. Uh, be there.
Watch it. Watch us. Donate maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
donate. That would be fun too. If you
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, it's for a good cause. Yeah.
Yeah, Children's
Pitch in
Miracle
some money.
Network hospitals. You know, they, uh, for the kids and stuff like that.
Is
Uh,
this a bit for a quirky outro?
do we want to do one? We've been talking for
Do we
like 40 minutes.
have we? I've lost track of time.
Yeah.
We could do a quirky out. We need a quirky outro. We need to come up with one. That'd be cool.
Maybe we should. I mean, I just kind of do like a outro that's just like, some like smooth jazz and then like an end card. Oops, I just knocked into my desk.
Oh, you hate to hear it. Ow.
Yeah, my toes hurt now.
Ooh. Ooh.
All right.
Ooh.
Well, I guess
Alrighty.
this is the
We could
end.
do a normal outro, but okay. This is the end of our podcast. It's been real. Woo. Um.
I hopefully we'll do more of
This is my
these.
outro. This is me attempting an outro.
Oh,
Bye. Have a day.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been fun talking to you. It's been a pleasure as
It's been
always.
nice. Yeah,
And
it's been good.
thanks for listening. Uh yeah.
Yeah.
Farewell.
Watch the D&D stream and yeah,
Oh yeah,
farewell.
watch the D&D stream. Do that
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
eventually when we do it.
Whenever that happens. Yeah.
All right. You guys have a good rest of your day and farewell.